Using AI tools in text generation, audio generation, video generation, and editing have almost become a commodity now. There's a lot of them, and they're present in so many tools. I know I have at least 3 or 4 that I can now use that I'm constantly wondering which is best. I've also looked at AI transcription tools in the past, which again is pretty common now. You can actually run them locally on your machine yourself for the most part. But the people at Flexclip asked me to take a look at what they have to offer to see how it compared to some of the others I've looked at in the past, and that is what I am going to do. I am Christian Schiller. You can find more about me in the links below. And of course, as always, click those subscribe, like, donate, support buttons. Always appreciated. But enough of that. Let's jump in and see what Flexclip can do in this busy ecosystem. So there's a whole bunch of things here that I'm less interested in. I'm actually less interested in things like AI video creation because I have Firefly through Creative Cloud for that, but I will come back to it a little bit later. I'm more interested in starting with these down here. Auto subtitle. This is something that I do manually in Premiere at the moment, and I find that the auto transcription in Premiere is not always that accurate, and then I have to add things like this on afterwards, these subtitling actually on top of the clip. I'm also interested in having a look at this because it's not something I've really done very much of, and then recording a screen. Again, I currently use OBS mostly for this for reasons, and I'm interested to compare. And then I will come back to these when there's time. So first, I uploaded a work in progress video. This is actually pretty large and it's recorded in ProRes. So I'm pleasantly surprised to see that it's coping. It's taking a little bit of time, obviously, because it's pretty big. It's like 6 gig. So that'll take a little bit of time, but I'm pleased to see that it didn't complain about it, which is nice because you can actually get high quality videos into here. So whilst that's doing its thing, let's take a look at the video script. Okay, so let's correct the typos. Okay. It's a little over the top, maybe. Often AI is often very verbose and over the top. So things like host standing in front of a computer with, it's not that bad, I suppose. But maybe just don't tend to think of this sort of setup, which is precisely why I've wanted to work on scripts. So hey, I shouldn't dismiss it. It's actually doing what I asked. I just don't tend to do this. And maybe that shows. Things like this, sleek interface, easy navigate. I wouldn't talk like that, but we could probably refine that. Great, I've got some text. Does this mean I can now? All right. So it looks like I can now make a video out of this. Maybe, let's see. This would be kind of cool. Don't really know what's going to happen here. I should also keep an eye on how many credits I have. Oh no, I have plenty, I think. I think again, this is going to take a little bit of time. So I will come back when everything is done. So let's see what we ended up with here. It doesn't really look like a video I'd make, but fine.
Welcome to our hands-on video. Today, we'll explore Flexclip and compare its features with other video editing tools. Flexclip is a user-friendly online video editor designed for beginners and pros alike.
Okay.
Let's dive into its interface. Here's the sleek interface. Easy navigation is key.
Not how the interface looks,
is just a click away. Flexclip boasts a vast...
Yeah, okay. I think you get the idea. There were other options there. I suppose I could do more with them. Or maybe I could upload myself, that kind of thing. But for the time being, it's probably not designed for the kind of video I threw at it. So, interesting. Let's come back to the file uploaded earlier. Now, it looks like it's still uploading, but there is something there. So we can probably make a start. I don't know how much is there exactly, though.
Amazed how many applications are very bad at it doesn't necessarily...
But on my Google Drive.
But I managed to get most of it.
Seems like it's mostly there, actually. I guess we want to come here. So I want to make some comparisons to other tools I use. So one I currently use is Descript, for example, which for this text-based editing. And also you can do the same thing in Premiere. So let's have a look at that. Now that's interesting. I've already uploaded it. So it's kind of a shame that it's asking me to do it again. It's a little bit disjointed there. Let's see if we can trigger it from here maybe. Here we go. There we go. So AI text-based editing. No. Okay. The file is too big. All right, well, that's sort of good and bad. It would be nice to be able to test it, but the comparisons I wanted to make, I was using the same file. So let's see if we can just get a transcript then. That would be fine for my podcast, actually, but for video, I tend to record in high quality, so I would need a bit more than that. What else have we got? So I'm actually just interested in getting the transcript. So what you do here is you drag the clip into this viewer and then make it fit the timeline, which is a little fiddly, but you can sort of do from here. Now, I get the impression that this video did not fully upload. I mean, it is pretty big. I'm uploading it into a browser. I'm going to allow some dispensation there. I just want to, 46 seconds is probably enough to get an idea of the transcript quality anyway. So we jump into here, come to here. Now I want to change that. That's close enough. And we'll generate. Hopefully, I didn't and ah enough and we get a few words. See, I'm not massively keen on web-based editors for this very reason. If you want to do things in high quality, it can be a little unstable sometimes. We'll see how long that takes. In the meantime, let's have a compare. So this is Descript, and I think it's all here. This is sort of technically webbish based, but it starts locally. Yeah, that's the whole thing. 5 minutes. We can see how this sounds. This is the standard interface. It's been redesigned a little bit recently. I don't know how much I like it, but let's very quickly look through some of these standard features. I think all of this seems reasonable. I don't know if there's going to be anything. Here's one, for example, DNS case clearing. DNS cache clearing. I don't know if there's much else. There's nothing particularly unusual in this, I think. In the text, I mean, in the what I said. So it looks pretty good. Here's one, for example. That's not incorrect completely. So Devon think I have here as well. It's Devon think, but that's close enough, I think. Yeah, I think there's enough here. It makes sense. Let's have a look at a Whisper. Again, this is running locally on a Whisper model that is downloaded locally. So this is all offline, which is nice. See how this is. This is the standard interface. It's been redesigned a little bit recently. I don't know how much I like it, but let's very quickly look through some of these standard features. Scan. This is actually more accurate. Whisper is actually very accurate considering it all runs locally. This is MacWhisper, for example. What was the other one? That DNS cache it got right. The weird way I say things. It's actually got the spelling correct. I don't think you can, unfortunately, MacWhisper, I don't think you can just jump from the playhead though. So, well, okay. So let's see how it handled things. It's kind of the same. That is correct in this case. It's probably using Whisper, to be honest with you. And then that's where it runs out. So we could see that one is at least correct. DNS cache clearing. It's running some of the... But we do get this added automatically, which we could probably do with some of these other tools. So like Descript would do that. I don't usually use Descript for this, but I am sure it's in here somewhere. That's kind of one of the things they've been pushing a lot. And even MacWhisper, in theory, you can't edit inside MacWhisper, but you could export this as subtitles file and then do something with it. But obviously in both these cases, in Descript and in Flexclip, you also get to do the editing. So we could delete that. And now it's gone. So this is much more like the Premiere interface. But I haven't put it in here. I will say that generally the Premiere audio detection is quite inaccurate. So this is not bad per se if you don't mind doing things in the browser, which most people don't. It's just me. So let's take a look at some of these other features then. We had the video script. We've got the auto subtitle. Text-based editing, I would really like to... Oh, we kind of just did that, I think, actually. So we saw that in there. It's part of the auto subtitle. Recording the screen. This may or may not work very well because I'm already recording the screen. Let's see. There's me. Okay. System audio as well. If you use Google Chrome, that could be interesting. Okay. Click anywhere to stop recording. I don't see myself anymore, which is disconcerting. Clicking, you can hide the page during recording. Okay. This looks great. This is a sidebar. This is a timeline. This is the clip view. Here's the subtitles. I don't hear any audio though, so something went wrong there. But it's fine. A lot of tools do this. I think this, again, is a feature that is becoming a little bit commodity. This happens a couple of times where it wants to then download something. I'm not 100% sure what it's trying to download. The raw recording. Okay, that's cool. Let's see, maybe this will work. No, the audio didn't come through. There's also a little laggy on this video here. Okay, so finally, back to some of these other features here. AI text to speech. So Descript does do this as well. Let's try it. Here's me. I haven't added much to myself recently. Okay, so there we go. Well, there we go. This is something that Descript has been doing a lot recently. So, oh well. It was fine. I tried it nearly 2 years ago, I think, and it was fine. So, but there we go. So, 1-0 to Flexclip, I think, in this case, unless I get the same problem. I'm going to get Australian in here. Correct the typo and generate. I like that. No, I didn't. Oops. Oh well. I like that you could see how many credits it's using in each case as well. That's quite nice. Okay, let's have a listen.
I am making a video comparing Flexclip to other tools like Descript and MacWhisper.
Okay, let's correct the typo this time. Let's put in things that always throw these tools. General. What is general? Maybe because I picked Australian. Yeah, I do like that you can very clearly see how many credits it's going to use. We'll have a look at how much credits are in a minute.
I am making a video comparing Flexclip to other tools like Descript and MacWhisper. My name is Chris Chinchilla.
It's not bad, really, to be honest with you. There's a lot more here we could look at. I wouldn't mind trying this AI video creator and comparing it to Firefly, and then I think we're good. I already looked at quite a lot. Log URL to video. I suppose not a fair comparison to Firefly, so there we go. I'll copy that. So we can get the same. Obviously, the interfaces, the options are not the same, but let's just go for very kind of loose. So actually, Firefly is also showing me how many credits it uses. I don't know how many I have, but okay. I just realized there's a typo there. Let's leave the typo in. We'll see how they cope. Give me a script. Okay, I guess that's how it works. So that's a little different then. That's quite different from Firefly in some respects. So this is actually more of an ideation tool than just generating like a Sora type video, I suppose. And there's a lot more going on here. So actually there's a lot more finesse here. Stock library. I don't know. It's hard to say. Let's go. I tend to like having photorealistic whilst that's doing its thing. Here is Firefly. I mean, it's a chinchilla sat at a desk. It's not making a video, though. Maybe that wasn't clear enough, I suppose. But the chinchilla itself is fine. So let's do a quick price comparison. It was a little hard to test these fully because you get different things. So Flexclip is, well, you saw some of what we've got there. I didn't look at everything. Quality of video, AI credits, stock videos, the various features we looked at, and you can do it from subscriptions or credits. Maybe let's stay at subscription. So for the top plan, it's around $240 a year, $20 a month. Descript is not too dissimilar. It's around the same sort of price. We don't get all of those features. We do get some. Now, I will say that when I first registered for it, the underlord features were not really there. There's a lot of the text-based editing and things like that, and that's what I've always used it for, and it's become something else. It's a little hard to make that comparison point. It has other options for exporting as well. It's a little bit more aimed at the pro creator ecosystem in that respects, although I didn't really dig into Flexclip to see what it offered in that regard. And if I look at Creative Cloud, well, Creative Cloud is not really a very fair comparison. It also includes a lot of other things. They do now have a Firefly. I was wondering if they might. There we go. Yeah. So $10 a month for 2,000 credits. Credits is a little hard to balance, of course. So they're sort of comparable-ish, depending what you want, I guess. Whether you want to generate, for example, the text-based editing and the auto-subtitling in Premiere is another thing. Yeah, it's a little hard to compare. But in terms of the quality, I would say they were all roughly comparable. So it fits neatly and fairly nicely into that suite of tools, I think. And that was Flexclip. So having looked through all those features and that pricing, I think there's a few areas of it that I could do without. I'm not so keen on doing everything in the web browser, for example. But for a lot of the things I get from other tools that I'm paying for, especially Descript is probably the closest example here. I would say the feature set is pretty comparable for what I want to do, for getting text-based editing, for getting a transcript to then share on my website and things like that for podcasts and videos. I think it's pretty comparable, and the price is more or less the same. Descript does also have Squadcast for remote recording, so that's something to bear in mind that I use probably as much as Descript in itself, which Flexclip doesn't have, but there's other ways to handle that, of course. That's just my workflow. There's a lot of other tools in this space, and I didn't really compare Flexclip to those, but compared to the tools I'm using, I think it's quite favorable, actually. There's definitely areas I have no interest in, but there's a lot there that is quite useful once you sort of get your head around how to use it, and uploading large files maybe is the bigger problem, but that's a me problem. I have been Chris Gilla. That was Flexclip. If you enjoyed what you saw, take a look in the description for a link that you can follow to throw a few cents to me. Thanks to Flexclip for that, and thanks to them for giving me some credits to experiment with. Click on all those buttons in the player to share, leave a comment, subscribe. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that creative exploration of AI tools, and see you next time. Wait, Chris, I hear some of you asking, what about the chinchilla video you were generating? Okay, let's take a look. So yeah, I mean, it does this whole script style interface. So it's not really quite what I was looking for. It's more like a PowerPoint presentation, as you can see here. And yeah, well, I know what's going on there. So I think in terms of pure video generation, Firefly definitely excels there. But it's kind of cute. It's just not exactly what I asked for.